If you guys weren't aware, we are now in the year 2020, and that means the start of a brand new decade. And shout out to Andre, he gave me a super cool idea to do. In today's video, we're going to be finding out what the best team of the last decade was according to NBA 2K20. So starting off, taking a look at our first team of the best teams in the last decade, the teams I actually chose for this were all the NBA champions in the past decade, so from 2010 to 2019. And we're going to start off with our most recent champs, the 2019 Toronto Raptors. And on this squad, we got Kawhi Leonard, Pascal Siakam, Kyle Lowry, Marc Gasol, Serge Ibaka, Fred VanVleet, Jeremy Lin, Norman Powell, Jody Meeks, OG Anunoby, Patrick McCaw, Chris Boucher, Eric Moreland, Malcolm Miller, and then we got one 40 overall player. If there wasn't enough players to fill up the entire roster, then we just put 40 overalls on the rest of the team. The next team we have is the 2018 Golden State Warriors, and they actually won back-to-back 2017 and 2018. So there's not going to be a team for 2017. We're just going to have the 2018 Warriors. And this is when they were super stacked. We got Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, JaVale McGee, Andre Iguodala, Kevon Looney, Sean Livingston, Damian Jones, Quinn Cook, Nick Young, Jordan Bell, Patrick McCaw, Zaza Pachulia, and then one 40 overall player. We also have the 2016 Golden State Warriors. Now, this is the year they went 73-9. They ended up losing to Cleveland in the finals, but this team is a little better than the 2015 one just because they had an insane record. So we're going to be using this one for the video, and it was also already in 2K, which made this a lot easier to do. So we do have the 26 Golden State Warriors. We're also going to have the 2016 Cavs. But checking out our 16 Warriors, we got Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, Harrison Barnes, Sean Livingston, Leandro Barbosa, Andrew Bogut, Ian Clark, Anderson Varejao, Kevon Looney, and then a few 40 overall players just to finish out the rest of the roster. Next up, we got the 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers. Of course, is the year they beat the Warriors with that huge comeback. And on this squad, we got LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Love, the big three, and then J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson, Richard Jefferson, Matthew Dellavedova, Iman Shumpert, Timothy Mozgov, Channing Frye, Jordan McRae, and then the rest are just going to be 40 overall players and filler players. I'll actually go ahead and make these two players 40 overalls as well, since they aren't actually going to be playing, just to make it a little more fair in case they do end up getting any minutes. So they are now 40 overalls. So up next, we got the 2014 San Antonio Spurs. Of course, we don't have a 2015 team because we used the 2016 Warriors. So on this team, we got Tim Duncan, Kawhi Leonard, Manu Ginobili, and originally 2K actually didn't have Manu Ginobili on the team, so we actually had to add him in there. They also got Tony Parker, Danny Green, Boris Diaw, who also originally wasn't on the team, Patty Mills, Marco Bellinelli, Corey Joseph, Tiago Splitter, and Aaron Baines. And then we have 4 40 overall players. Next up, we got the 2013 Miami Heat, and they actually won back-to-back in 2012 and 2013. And 2K did an awful job at actually creating this roster. Originally, they had like 5 players on this roster, and they also didn't even have Chris Bosh on the team or Mario Chalmers, so we actually had to add him in there. But checking out the team now, we got LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Mario Chalmers, Mike Miller, who also wasn't originally on here. Chris Anderson wasn't on here. Shane Battier was, Ray Allen, Norris Cole we had to add in, Udonis Haslem was on the team, Rashard Lewis, and then the rest are 40 overall. So pretty much half the team we actually had to add in ourselves because 2K just completely forgot that Chris Bosh was on the team. Next up, we got the 2011 Dallas Mavericks, and for once, 2K actually did a pretty decent job at adding everybody on this team. But checking out this team, we got Dirk Nowitzki, Tyson Chandler, Sean Marion, Caron Butler, Jason Kidd, Peja Stojakovic, JJ Barea, Deshaun Stevenson, Corey Brewer, Brendan Haywood, Ian Mahimi, Brian Cardinal, and then 3 40 overalls. And then last but not least, we got the 2010 Los Angeles Lakers. And on this squad, we got Kobe Bryant, Pau Gasol, Metta World Peace, Lamar Odom, Andrew Bynum, Derek Fisher, Sasha Vujacic, Shannon Brown, Luke Walton, Jordan Farmer, and then a few 40 overalls. We have 5 40 overalls on this team just because I had to custom create this team completely. And this was all the players that I could actually find for it. But we do have all the major guys on the team, and that is going to be our final team. And what I did before we start off this video is I played these guys in a 14-game season. So each team played each other once, and that actually determined the seeding. Whoever won the most games got the highest seed. Whoever won the least got the lowest seed. So they each had 7 games against each other, and then the rest of the 7 games were up against a bunch of 0 overall teams with 40 overalls on the entire team. So they had 7 free wins. Each team had 7 free wins, and then they had 7 games that I actually had to play for and try to win. And then that is how we got the seeding. So the first seed is going to be the 2010 LA Lakers. 16 Cavs get the 8th seed. We got the 2018 Warriors with the 4th seed, the 2011 Mavs with the 5th seed, 2013 Heat with the 3rd seed, 2016 Warriors with the 6th seed, 2019 Raptors with the 2nd seed, and the 2014 Spurs with the 7th seed. I'm kind of surprised about the 2 at the bottom here. If anything, I think these should be flipped. Even though the Raptors are my favorite team, I am not expecting them to do too good. Let's just get right into the first round here. I want you guys to leave your comment down below on which team you think is going to go ahead and win. We're just going to be simulating to the conference finals because we have all 8 teams in one conference. So it works out perfectly. They all get to face each other in each round. And then, of course, the conference finals is going to be our NBA champion. We don't have to worry about the other side of the bracket. It's all 40 overall teams. And our first team to move on from the first round is going to be the 2018 Golden State Warriors, beating the 2011 Mavs, a 4-0 sweep, and Klay Thompson with the buzzer beater there. A little disrespectful, because they were up by 40 points. They end up winning by 43. An easy sweep for the Warriors in the first round. Okay, so every other game in the first round ends up going to a game number 7, which is absolutely crazy. We got some really good matchups right here. Any team could move on. It's just the Warriors destroyed the Mavs. But first off, we got the 2013 Heat versus the 2016 Warriors. Let's find out who's going to come out on top in game number 7. And coming down to the wire here, the Warriors up by 2 points with 27 seconds left. They do have the ball. So if they score one time, they might be able to score the W here. It's kind of hard to tell who's who on the Heat just because everybody has the wrong face and probably the wrong numbers. Actually, they actually do have a lot of the right numbers. But time winding down right here. Bogut with the ball. Why did Bogut shoot it? Why was he the one to put up the last shot for the Warriors there? This might give the Heat the opportunity to win this game. That was an awful play. They hit Bogut in the post and he fades away. That can't have been their design play. If the Warriors do end up winning this, though, they're going to have 2 teams move on to the second round. D-Wade with the ball. Mid-range shot. It's no good. And the Warriors are going to win in game number 7. They are the first 2 teams to move on. The 2018 and 2016 Warriors move on to the second round. And hopping into our next game 7 here. This was not as close as our last one. The Spurs are going to win this one quite easily, defeating the 2019 Raptors. And they are going to be our 3rd team moving on to the second round. We just have one more game 7 to go in the first round. I hope Jalen hits a 3 at the end of the game here. I just holds it. Hopping into game 7, 2010 Lakers versus 2016 Cavs. Lakers up by 10 points here. 16 seconds left, so they are going to move on to the second round. They were our first seed. This was our 1 versus 8 matchup, and surprisingly, it did go to game 8, but there was a nice matchup here between Kobe and LeBron. Let's see if Kobe's going to go for one last bucket. Derek Fisher in a side, and he gets that to go. These guys are a little disrespectful, getting buckets at the final second when they're up by so much, but the Lakers are going to move on. So checking out our teams make it into the second round. No upsets in the top of the bracket. The 2010 Lakers and 2018 Warriors move on. And then in the bottom of the bracket, they're both upsets, even though this Raptors one probably wasn't much of one. But we got the 2016 Warriors facing off against the 2014 Spurs. And up at the top, Lakers versus Warriors. The Warriors with a 3-0 lead. They have not dropped a single game yet. Let's see if they can get another sweep. And they do it, up by 9 points here. Only 14 seconds left. They're going to defeat the 2010 Lakers and get yet another sweep here. I mean, this 2018 Warriors squad is just an unbelievable team. I think they're going to go ahead and end up winning because they were already the best team in the NBA, and then they added Kevin Durant. So it's a little hard to stop this team. But they get another sweep right here. We got some of the 0 overalls in the game because there's no chance the Lakers come back. But let's see what other team is going to make the NBA Finals with them. We might actually end up having 2 Warriors teams as the 2 best teams in the last decade, which is going to be crazy. So the Spurs and Warriors are actually all tied up to a piece right here. Let's just go over one more game, and the 2014 Spurs going to get the W there. And the 2014 Spurs end up defeating the 2016 Warriors. And the crazy thing about this is that a lot of people said that this 2016 Warriors squad was the greatest team of all time. A lot of them, there's a lot of comparisons and debates whether or not they could beat that Jordan team, the 96 Bulls. And then the Warriors added Kevin Durant, and they got even better. So this team doesn't even seem that good compared to the other one, but the Spurs end up defeating them. So in our NBA Finals, we got the 2018 Golden State Warriors facing off against the 2014 San Antonio Spurs to determine the greatest team of the past decade. So we're going to start this off just by simulating and find out if any team takes a lead. Warriors up 2-0, 3-0. This Warriors squad might just sweep the entire playoffs. They're up 3-0 right now against the Spurs. Spurs do have the home court for this final game. But let's see if the Warriors can get yet another sweep. And the Warriors do it, up by 7 with 25 seconds left. They get yet another 4-0 sweep in these NBA playoffs, securing the title of the greatest team in the past decade. And honestly, I do agree with this, that Warriors squad with Durant on it, Curry, Durant, Clay, Draymond, was just an insane team. So it's no surprise that they end up winning this one. We're going to check out the stats after this game and try to determine a finals MVP, because technically this is just the conference finals in the game, so we aren't going to get a finals MVP. But I want to know you guys' thoughts. Do you guys think the 2018 Warriors are the best team in the past decade, or do you think another team should have won? I definitely think they are the best team in the past decade. In fact, they might be the greatest team of all time. Also, let me know if you guys want to see something like this, but all time. So we try to figure out like the all-time greatest team. There they are holding up the conference title, even though this is technically the title for the greatest team in the past decade. But definitely let me know if you want to see this for like an all-time type of thing. So instead of the greatest team in the past decade, maybe we take the 30 greatest teams of all time, put them up against each other in a season, a playoffs, and find out which team would come out on top. But for that, we also have to determine the 30 greatest teams, which a lot of them will be championship teams, so it won't be too hard. But we'll do some sort of vote where you guys can vote on who you think is the greatest teams. So I'm just going to simulate the rest of the playoffs just to see who ends up getting MVP normally. I'm guessing it's going to be Durant. And no, Stephen Curry actually gets finals MVP. They're facing off against a 40 overall team, so he averaged 52 points per game. So that's a little inaccurate. But let's actually check out the box score here with the Warriors versus Spurs. So in game number 1, Curry put in up some great numbers, 29, 10, and 6. So he's definitely the MVP of game number 1. Kawhi, Tim Duncan, not doing the greatest for the Spurs right there. Hopping into game number 2, Ginobili had 28 points for the Spurs. Tim Duncan with a double-double. And then for the Warriors, Stephen Curry putting up 34 points, 5 rebounds, and 9 assists. Hopping into game number 3, check out the Spurs again. Ginobili going to be the lead scorer. Kawhi 18, 10, 3. He also had 3 blocks. And then for the Warriors, Durant is actually going to be the lead scorer for this game. 22 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Whereas Curry is 21, 5, and 7. And then Klay Thompson also put up 18. And finally, hopping into game number 4, Stephen Curry had 36 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Klay Thompson with 32, 2, and 6. So I think we can say that Stephen Curry definitely got the MVP for this series, finally getting his first finals MVP. And it was for the past decade, the greatest team in the past decade. So a lot better than just a normal finals MVP. We'll also check out The Spurs here in this final game, Kawhi putting up 31 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. So if the Spurs ended up winning, it probably would have gone to Kawhi for Finals MVP. But that's going to be it for this video. Again, guys, if you want to see that greatest teams of all time, just smash that like button and that'll let me know that you did enjoy this. Also, make sure that you do subscribe to the channel so when we do come out with that video, you'll be notified. This has been your boy Smequle, though, and I'll see you next time. Peace. I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the